titled Packaging and Branding Your Managed Services Offering. I would like to, for everyone on the call, I would like to thank ManageEngine. They went ahead and they're sponsoring this webcast to help you guys position your managed services offering better so you can win more sales and generate more leads to concept. So the overall concept of this webcast is really just to teach you how to instead of just leading with the flat rate IT or you know, managed services or whatever, however you call your offering, position it in a way that's more client-centric. You know, I think that's the biggest mistake that MSPs make. They make it all about themselves, and they talk about the product and highlight the product, not really make it client-centric. And I got to tell you, over the years in my career, and I'll talk a little bit about myself in a minute, you know, I've sold over $20 million in managed services agreements, and never once was it about the features or benefits of the product. I always try to find a way to connect the solution with the client's needs, and then over time, I learned how to position it that way. I learned how to develop marketing materials. In my career as a VAR, I was just a salesperson for a VAR organization in Orange County, California. So, you know, we have some really good ideas here on this webcast. The folks over at ManageEngine will go ahead and read a bio real quick about me, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Today's webcast will be about 30 minutes, and then we'll leave some time for Q&A. I want you guys to get back to work, but I do want you guys to take whatever information you need to implement the strategies here and start making more MSP sales. So take it away, guys.
Okay. Hello, guys. This is Siddhant here for ManageEngine Services Plus MSP Marketing. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you all Giovanni, who is going through the webinar. So here's a short intro about Gio. So for the past decade, Gio has been servicing the channel globally by providing business consulting and training. He had the privilege of working with thousands of MSPs all over the world and helping them generate millions of dollars in new sales. Gio has also had the opportunity to hold leadership positions in marketing, sales, and strategic alliances. Some of his responsibilities included building call centers and managing large nationwide sales teams, executing international business development and consultation, developing strategic alliances and go-to-marketing strategies with Fortune 500 organizations, international public speaking, and developing and distributing digital magazines and publications. He feels lucky to have developed such great relationships with thousands of business professionals that have such a positive effect in the channel and the SMB committee. So let me pass on the control to Gio. It's all yours now.
Okay. Thank you guys for the intro. Okay, so without further ado, just to kind of just wrap up what he said, guys, I started out it's almost been 10 years now as a salesperson within a VAR organization called Intelligent Enterprise in Orange County, California. I started off as an appointment setter and then started doing sales. Within 3 years, I became the #1 MSP salesperson in the nation. And then Ingram and Intel and Level Platform, some of the other companies invited me out to start doing the speaking and the training, and you know, that's where I've gotten to the position where I've got to now, where I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of different companies throughout the U.S. And in several different parts of the world. And I developed my relationship with ManageEngine about 5 years ago, so I'm happy to be talking to you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's kick it off with the next slide. Okay, so before I get into the nuts and bolts here of how I brand and how I package managed services, I want you to understand what my definition of managed services is, okay? Because it's not just about network monitoring, you know, remote support, remote management, patches, updates, that kind of stuff. You know, it's basically any service or group of services that's governed by an SLA and that's billed for on a monthly reoccurring basis. So you can make any solution a managed service. You can make backup a managed service. You can make vendor management a managed service. You can make website development a managed service, as long as it's a service you're delivering them that they're paying for monthly and that you're managing on a monthly basis. Okay? So that's going to be the basis of how we're going to start bundling and packaging different things to comprise your managed services offering. Okay, next slide. All right, so These are the typical pricing and packaging methods, okay, for managed services. So those of you on the call will probably identify with one of these. There's either device management, the per device pricing model. There's a tiered pricing model, which is like a gold, silver, bronze. And then there's a value pricing model where you kind of do a cost savings analysis with the client and then figure out, based on what he's saving, what you want to charge him for your services. So just so you know, I've done all three of them in my career. The company that I was working with tried all three until we found the kind of sweet spot that worked for us. But the per device pricing model, it's really easy to set up pricing for that because you could just look up what your competitors are doing and find out what a good average price is and price yourself accordingly. If you want to be the cheapest guy, you can drop your prices to do that. If you want to be kind of a mid-price guy, there's easy ways to discover what other MSPs are charging with the per device model because it's something that you can list on your website, right? Hey, every PC is $65, every server is $150 a month, whatever it is. So, the only thing that I find it's a challenge with that. There's a couple things. Number one is, again, you can be shopped. Just like you're looking at your competitors, see what they're doing, your competitors can do the same thing, and those folks, and there's a lot of them that want to be the cheapest guy in the room, will undercut you, and, you have to deal with that. Another thing, too, is, putting yourself in your client's shoes. How do they know if $65 is fair or not, If you're looking at what they're saying when you're presenting this to them, they're like, well, okay, I got 20 PCs in here, and they want to charge me $65 a PC, but I don't know. Those 3 PCs over there are brand new. I get it for the ones that are old, but why would I pay the same price to manage a new one? So you leave it up to them to really quantify the value, and it doesn't end up working out to your favor. Now the tiered model. The tiered model is a gold, silver, bronze model. It's the most popular pricing model, because you're giving your client a set of bundles that they can go with, which is like usually bronze is monitoring only. Then you got some remote support, perhaps BDR in your silver model, and then your gold model includes on-site or a block of hours for on-site. So again, it's something easy. It's something that the clients get. It's a tiered model. I get it. But at the same token, even though you can bundle in more value in those pricing models, you're still leaving it up to the client to kind of say, okay, well, they don't really understand technology. All you guys can say is your client qualified to determine what services they need from you? And the truth is, no, they're not. They're just going to look at it and say, well, okay, I get it. I don't know if I need all this, and maybe they need the gold package because of what their current situation is, but they say, well, I don't know. They either take the lower package or sometimes the middle package to kind of get their feet wet first before really choosing the right solution that impacts their company. And then you got the value pricing model, which, as long as you have the sales skills to do it, by all means, it works great. You have to have a more in-depth sales conversation with your client, figure out what their pain points are, figuring out where all the holes are within their network. Do a little analysis of how much time they're losing, how that equates to revenue loss over the year or opportunity loss over the year. And then what you can say is, hey, we can eliminate a portion of this downtime, right? You can never guarantee 100% uptime, but you can definitely cut their downtime quite a bit, figure out what the savings are, and then price your managed services offering accordingly. Now, what's great about it is it can be very profitable. If you find a client that has a lot of pain, you can price your services, and trust me, I've had a lot of 10-user clients that I've charged $2,500 a month into that pricing model. So it's good, but again, it takes a lot of time and effort. But I think there's something better that you can do. So let's go to the next slide and let's talk about, let's show an example of a tiered pricing model and how we can make that better. Go ahead, next slide. So this is a pricing example on a tiered pricing model. And the reason I chose a tiered one is because it's the most popular amongst MSPs, okay? So, and this is an example of, a fairly successful MSPs and what they do, under each package. So if you're looking at, what they charge per desktop, here they're charging at 35 desktops at $30 a desktop for monitoring only, right? The bronze contains kind of monitoring and patch management. So you got 2 servers in the environment, 35 desktops, 2 servers, and for each server it's about $88 a month what the average MSP charges to manage that server under a bronze model. And you know, the overall monthly price, if you look at it that way, 35 desktops, 2 servers, is $1,226 a month. So raise your hands, guys, if this is you. You know, this is kind of a good idea of how your pricing works out, right? We're trying to, we base this off of $117 an hour for a billable rate is what you're trying to get. So under a bronze pricing model, you're going to be making about $14,712 a year. Silver includes a little bit more because now Silver, you're introducing not only monitoring and patching, but you're introducing remote help desk. You know, 8 to 5 help desk, unlimited remote support, where users can, or anyone in the organization can open up tickets. So under that pricing model, the average MSP would do about $60 a desktop, $176 a server. So you're looking at, you know, 35, the same scenario, 35 desktops, 2 servers. Now your monthly bill goes up to $2,452 a month, and your average annual contract's nearly 30 grand. And then you got Gold. Gold, again, it includes not only remote help desk, but some version of on-site or unlimited on-site support as well. And then you go back, now you're going to $80 a desktop, $200 a server, and you're up to $3,200 a month for that client. Very nice, very easy for you to determine your profit, very easy to kind of train your salespeople on how, you know, on how your packages work and how you're going to present them in front of the client. But what's the big problem here? What's the underlying problem? Is that this is not a client-centric pricing model. How does this benefit your client? How does a client looking at these options determine how you're helping them versus whatever they remembered from your sales engagement? Okay? Gold doesn't mean anything to a client. Silver doesn't mean anything. It means something to you. It's how you determine your pricing, and that is the biggest problem that I find working with MSPs throughout the world. It's the same issue. It's all about you. Even your website reflects you. It's about your service. It's about what's included. It's about features and benefits. You know, and when you're in a situation when you're going up against competitors, or you're in an RFP, or you're in you know, just any competitive environment, they're going to look at these different options and trying to determine who's the best option. Yes, there's going to be a natural inclination to who they like the most in the presentation, but a lot of guys are numbers conscious, and if they don't really understand the value 100%, or there's no emotional connection to your service, then, you know, sometimes you're just left to get bidded out by the smallest guy, right? And, you know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. But I think that there's a better way, and I've been actually practicing this with MSPs all over the country, and it's been having some tremendous results. So let's go into that. Let's go into the next slide and give you guys an idea how to package your pricing a little bit better. So I think changing the paradigm and aligning and making your pricing and packaging client-centric is the key. Okay, and in order to do that, you need to understand what the client's needs or goals are, right? What their pain points are. And you can find out what their pain points are based on whatever their desired business outcome is, whatever their goals are. So let's take a look at what a typical client's goals are. Every time I talk to a client, no matter what, I don't care if they responded to a postcard or an email that I sent out on BDR and they want to talk about backup. You know, I always find out why in the first meeting. So, well, okay, great. I saw that you're interested in our backup solution, but tell me about what's going on. Why do you need backup? You know, how long have you been running your company? Did you guys have, you know, a server fail that led to data loss? Did you guys get audited or fall out of compliance and you guys pay some sort of penalty? What's going on? Well, no. You know, they'll just say, none of that. I just kind of, you know, I was on the news and, you know, there was a minor earthquake here in California or some storm, and a friend of mine lost some data, and I was thinking about, you know, if I should upgrade my data loss for that. Well, I said, well, you've been fine for right now. Right? Tell me a little bit more about, you know, how backup, you know, how you position your backup, or how having an adequate backup strategy affects your overall business goals. What do you want out of your company? And sometimes they'll be taken off by that. They'll ask you, well, why are you asking these questions? So, well, technology does two things. It either saves you money or makes you money, right? And I said it a little cleaner. I just said, technology is used for two things. It's either there to help you cut costs and increase efficiencies, right? Or it's there to help you achieve your business goals faster, right? Using some innovative technology to help you run your company run tighter and leaner and generate more revenue. So then you get the answers. Everybody entered business. Those of you on this call that are business owners, I want you to think about this because you're thinking about the same thing. Some of the people that you're talking to, they want more family time, right? That's what their goals are. Man, you know what? Some of them are fed up with the day-to-day, just drilling, tons and tons of hours every day. They want to spend more time with their family. They're hearing it from their family when they come home. They would like perhaps more time for vacation. Some of them would like to be able to make enough money to be able to have that time to spend with their family. So when you're looking at clients like that, there's a specific set of technology solutions you can promote, you can position with them. Some other CEOs are looking, they're very aggressive. They want to expand their company. They want to grow and have multiple locations or offer services outside of their metroplex or outside of their service area and just continue to expand. But perhaps they don't have the capital to do so. They say, I can't invest in new offices right now and in new infrastructure. It's a lot of money, but it's what I want to do. They have a dream of building this enterprise. Some companies simply, they just want to make more money. I want to make more money. I want to be more profitable, more money. Get more clients in here. I want some more money somehow. And that's fine too. Their goals are to drive more revenue, then you got to figure out the technology solutions that will help them drive more revenue. And lastly, you have clients that are in it for acquisition. Some companies start out and say, you know what, I just want to be able to build my company up and sell it one day so I can retire early. And they're trying to do everything they can to build their business up to a certain point so they can sell it for a certain dollar amount. And those guys that have the acquisition goals, you got to ask them how much they want to sell their business for. Okay? Once you start having these conversations, you, the IT professional, can start thinking about the solutions that will help them achieve these outcomes and help them achieve a higher multiple and things like that. So I'm going to give you some examples of how I approached clients with this in the past and how you can position this a little bit. Okay, next slide. All right. So if a client tells you that they want more family time, they're tired of spending so much time in the office, they kind of want to just, hey, get the burden off my shoulders, what are some things you can start thinking about what you can start bundling into the client's proposal that will help them save them time, okay? Number one is obviously doing backups. There's a lot of clients right now that are still doing tape or USB, or if you're like my father-in-law, who owns actually a pretty lucrative accounting firm, had floppy drives until last year, and now he walks around with this giant keychain full of USB drives. That is one deal, my friends, I cannot close. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's doing that every day. Obviously, he's not trying to save time. So you can offer, a proactive backup strategy that kind of backs up their service offline and, has a good business continuity strategy built into it. Those of you guys that can leverage, either have the infrastructure to be able to offer 24/7 help desk, that's a big one. Or you guys can partner with organizations, like NetEnrich and Synergy. They have opportunities to help you and be able to provide 24/7 remote support for your clients. And it's pretty good services, man. They white label it for your company. It's all 24/7 US based and really, really good stuff that you guys can offer there. But again, having that peace of mind these guys want, so in case any time of the day you can take care of their issues, that saves them time. Vendor management. Those of you that are doing managed services and not charging for vendor management, you're still doing it. You're just giving it away for free. The client's internet goes out, their printer breaks, all that kind of stuff. They're calling you first. You're ended up telling them that okay, hey, you have to call your printer. This is something that I'm not dealing with, right? Or it's something that's not covered, or it's not our issue. You have to call the telephone guy. They're still calling you first, and for most of the people that I know, they end up helping their clients through these issues anyway. just to show good customer service. So I think you should charge for that and list it, that there's an actual vendor management you can do for them. And instead of you pretending to be your client, get her a letter of agency from your clients and do this in a proactive model where you can actually call their vendors. The vendors can't BS you like they can BS the client. You know, if the printer guy's not going to go and, is it plugged in? You know, turn this on, open this door here. Okay, shut it back down again. And just, hey, I'm an IT guy. This is what the problem is. I need you to fix it. So vendor management is a huge, huge value add. Again, all these are a sample of certain solutions that I can bundle into my proposal, which I'll show you guys in a minute, that can give that client that family time that they wanted, right? And have them have an emotional connection to the solutions you're proposing and how that helps them achieve their desired business outcome. Okay, so let's look at a couple more. Expansion. If someone's looking to expand, this is a great opportunity for unified communications because they need to be able to communicate with the team, especially if they're opening up multiple offices and things like that, to kind of make it easier to manage people and kind of take the headache away of, you know, how am I going to hold all this together and streamline it. Hosted VoIP is very good. It eliminates some of the cost of the phone system. They can all be on a hosted voice model that saves them money, and they can all use the internet and be able to take calls wherever they are. That way, if sales professionals jump from one location to the other, or the president has to go somewhere else, they can take their phone with them and be able to execute calls anywhere. HOS infrastructure as a service. A lot of the people that are hesitant on expansion right now is because the capital investments need to get started. You know, I need to buy, and gosh, I need to get a new building. I need to get, you know, new hardware for every one of my clients. They're thinking of this big bill. So hardware as a service, or if you're more cloud-centric, infrastructure as a service is a great solution to offer the clients in that phase, along with, you know, the standard stuff that comes with it, the monitoring, the patch management, the remote support, so forth. Acquisition. Acquisition is really, really important one because depending on what multiple they want, it really, the better technology infrastructure that they actually have can actually increase their multiple at time of acquisition. So right now, if they don't have an easy way for a buyer to take over the infrastructure, manage all the data, and start taking over the clients like normal, it's actually going to make the transition time harder, which will make the investor or potential buyer actually want to pay less money to take them. If you can get these clients, you know, the right solution where you get them into the right CRM solution, right, that kind of automates the sales process. You make their network security compliance. Trust me, when a company's going to buy you, they're going to run through they're going to audit your company with a fine-tooth comb. So if you can make sure that you offer them the right security services to make sure they're compliant, that won't be an issue at time of acquisition. And then, you know, being able to have unified communications or virtualization take their business more into the cloud, it opens actually their network up to buyers that are outside their service area. Buyers from other states can actually buy them because, you know, they can take over the infrastructure remotely from wherever they're at because it's all in the cloud. You know what I mean? So it makes that process of acquiring all the data and managing and taking over that business, the adoption time the adoption time becomes less. They can take over the business faster, and it actually increases the multiple of acquisition. So at time of acquisition, so when you go to tell our client, hey, if you want to sell your business for a higher multiple, I can help you do that with technology. You're going to have their attention. They'll do whatever you want. Trust me, the ROI on that, if you can get them to increase their multiple even one time more, they'll pay you whatever they want because the difference could be millions of dollars. And finally, clients that want to drive more revenue. This is a great opportunity for you to do website as a service. Those of you that offer web development, you know, website and SEO, charge them a monthly fee to keep managing their website and keep helping them drive leads to it. CRM and software development. Software development is a big deal because you can take and build intranets or different softwares that have kind of streamline how they deliver their services to clients today and take a lot of the manual labor out of it. A lot of cloud applications are good too. Getting them more and more involved in the cloud is great because it gives sales professionals the ability to work from anywhere, to calls from anywhere, drive more revenue, and be much more efficient, which all equates to more revenue. So this is just kind of an idea of how you take these business goals. These are the 4 goals that the clients have in mind, and how you put them together to help clients close more and more deals. To help yourself close more deals and help your clients be connected to the proposal that you're giving them. Okay? So now that you understand this, let's talk about how to package, how you can leverage marketing to help you position this in front of your clients. Okay? So that you can actually drive more leads using this and close more sales. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, guys. So, first let's talk about the proposal. Before you do any marketing, okay, and I'm serious about this, you should have and spend the time and the money to make a professional, nicely designed, client-facing proposal. You forget that this is where you're asking for the money. So it's got to be the most attractive document you have. Now, if your proposal looks like it's just a standard piece of paper with your client's logo on it and says, services for you, then your proposal looks exactly the same as everyone else's that comes to present to them. Remember that when you leave and they're reviewing their proposal, they are looking at 3 different proposals on the table that 9 times out of 10 look exactly the same. But if your client has needs, right, and their need was they want to spend more time with their family, when you leave, they will have an emotional connection to this marketing document. No matter what anybody else presents and no matter what they charge, they'll remember, these are the guys that are going to give me what I always wanted, that time with my family. Those business owners that talk it over to their wife will choose this one. It is so important to position your marketing materials to be client-facing. I hope you guys are understanding this, how you just come off different than the rest of your competitors and how you get your clients to make an emotional connection with your services versus just line iteming what you're doing for them. Okay? So any document that presents price has got to look great, make an emotional connection with this, and you'll make a more memorable proposal. Next slide. Now, supporting marketing material. I'm here to tell you, okay, even though I was the #1 salesperson in the nation for managed services and, I was the top performer, obviously, in my company, I wasn't the most talented presenter, okay? I was young and inexperienced, and there's just guys that have a natural gift to be able to present things very, very well, okay? But I'm here to tell you that sales process will beat a great sales professional any day of the week. I don't care who they are. If you go into it and you make sure to do all your follow-up and you send them supporting marketing material, you give them white papers, you give them data, you give them all the supporting things, the client becomes indoctrinated into that sales process. And it becomes more about the sales process taking your client through the sale than actually you closing it. So it's important to have supporting marketing material. For instance, if you want to present based on these these desired business outcomes that you have, video marketing is a very good way to do it. Because, for instance, if those of you guys that don't have the sales skill, or you may have a team that, depending on the skill of that salesperson, you're getting different types of presentation. You can standardize the presentation and give a great presentation every time if you had a short video presentation that presents that service for you. Then you follow up behind it and kind of just do more of a Q&A. And every single client gets the same presentation. White papers are important for the analytical people. They want to read more data and they want to know and learn more about what it is that service has to offer them, and how it can effectively save them time with their family, get them more family time, or help them increase their multiple at time of acquisition. And then your website. Your website, again, should mirror that image. It should be however you are, or whatever your unique value proposition is to your client, that should be reflected in your website. It's your website. It's your message to your client. What do you want them to feel when they get there? Do you want a client to go there and say, hey, 24/7 flat rate IT, and just kind of choose whatever one they think is necessary? Or do you want the one that says, help achieve your business goals faster with technology, or grow your company faster with technology, or increase the value of your company so you can sell it for a higher amount? Or we save you time so you can spend it where it matters most, family. Making your marketing materials client-centric will accelerate the sales process, generate more leads, and help you close more sales. Okay, so have a good sales process there to help you out. Okay, next slide. All right, so that was a very short presentation of how you can take and package and price your managed services offerings and position it to be more client-centric and help you win more sales. Currently, this methodology is being used, and we're seeing 88% close ratios across the board as an average when clients present in this manner. So I really hope that the information sunk in with you guys, and if you guys see yourself as wanting to be different and you guys believe in that strategy and it appeals to you, please, by all means, contact me if you guys need help. We got a lot of free marketing material that you guys can use to help start presenting in this way. We have a free mobile app that you can download on the Google Play Store or the App Store that has a bunch of free white papers, free email templates, different things you can do to kind of help you guys along your efforts to help make more sales. If you guys just want to talk to me and have more questions about how to change your pricing model and your marketing brand, your marketing branding to be more client-centric on your website, you guys can reach me. That's my direct number. Or visit our website and contact any of our marketing professionals on our team. Okay? Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and just go through some Q&A.
Thanks, Gio, for those wonderful insights on how to package and brand a managed service offering. I hope all the attendees have benefited from this webcast. So here are the questions which you have actually received. Okay, so there's one question which we asked is, where can I find good pricing benchmarks so that I don't underprice each of my services?
That's a good question. There's a great resource you guys can use. If you want to know what your peers in the industry are charging for their services, so that you don't underprice them, you guys can go to a website called Service Leadership. It's www.service-leadership.com. And what this company has done is, you can opt in anonymously and submit your pricing. You can submit a lot of data about your company, how many salespeople you have, how many marketing people, how many engineers you have. And what it does is it takes all your data and it benchmarks you across all other IT companies that are your same size and model and your same predominant business model that are similar in size. So you can see how you rank. It has like 800 data points. It's really cool. And you can see how you rank as far as pricing on managed services, pricing on cloud services, backup, and everything else. They have a bunch of other benchmarks too, but they have some specific pricing ones in there. So go visit their website if you guys are looking for some good benchmarks. Next question.
Okay. Second question we have is, how many marketing touches should there be in the sales cycle?
Oh, it depends. I'm a big believer because, again, there's people that have better sales skills than me, so I use a little bit more touches than most people. Every time I leave a meeting, I do a thank you card, handwritten thank you card, and I actually do email thank you. I do appointment confirmations. I send out an appointment confirmation, a little graphical design image to make sure that they're ready for the meeting, and they don't forget about me, and I show up and there's kind of a one-legger. I use a lot of video presentations to support what I'm saying. I leave white papers. I leave a lot of information to educate the client. What it does is, for me, the more marketing touches you do, it kind of overwhelms them with, my gosh, look at this is such a professional company. These guys are just experts. You know, and some people will read it, some people won't. But again, it's that one thing that keeps you separate from a lot of your clients. So, you know, I say in every sales engagement, I probably do anywhere from 10 to 15 touches on different things. So again, I would say no less than 3 to 5. You know, and if I go as high as 15, you know, I'm a guy that does a lot of marketing touches. So hopefully that answered your question.
Okay, here's one more question which we have received. The question is, how long should the video presentation be? Okay,
this is pretty easy. So what I've seen as far as all the analytics, you shouldn't make, the average attention span before they jump off is about 1.5 minutes. So I find that 1.5 minute presentation is a good length. And there is and there's I think what the word count works out to is about just about 150 words. About 150 words. It will get you to about that 1.5 minutes. Okay? And I have some sample scripts for videos, so if you guys, again, want to talk to me, you can. We only got such a few questions. You guys should be answering more questions. This is going to help you. Ask me anything you want.
Yeah, I request all the attendees to provide more questions. There's one more here, which says, what is considered a good marketing budget?
Oh, boy. Well, if I use service leadership again, okay, they say that best-in-class MSPs invest 8 to 10% of their annual gross revenue in marketing. The average MSP invests about 3 to 5%. Now, let's just say you want to be best-in-class. I would never invest 8 to 10% of your annual gross revenue in marketing if you don't know what you're doing. Okay? You should know what you're doing. You should know, you know, how to market, you know, you've done the proper steps, done enough campaigns where you've gotten practice with your subject lines, your email collateral's just right. You know, get some small wins first. Start at that 3 to 5%. I think that's a good range. Get some ROI. Experiment here and there. And you know, and just figure out what a good formula is. Once you've had success and you've gotten, you know, some ROI on it, start increasing your budget slowly. Increase it to 6%, 8%, and then tap off, yeah, 10, 12% for sure. If you're a good marketer, you know, if you're good at generating leads, and I don't believe that there should ever be a limit to your marketing budget. It should go as high as you want it to go. Okay. Let's see. Another question.
I think that is all, Gio. I haven't actually seen any more questions in the questions tab here. So I think that's it, Gio. So thank you all for taking your precious time in attending this webinar. We hope you have enjoyed this webcast. Have a great day, and thanks, Gio, once again. This is Siddhant here signing off from ManageEngine.
All righty. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.